Good morning, students. Welcome back for a new topic. So, this time we are going to take care of ER diagram. So, ER diagram is nothing but it is your entity relationship model. Clear? So, entity relationship model. So, you are able to see the syllabus also. Syllabus is also defined over here. So, we are going to see the entire syllabus. So, syllabus is saying that we are going to have ER diagram. We are going to have this ER diagram. I think you are able to see. And that is data modeling using ER diagram, entity relationship model, concept notation, mapping constraint, how we are going to map one entity with the another one. Then we are going to see generalization, aggregation, and how we are going to reduce the ER diagram to the table. So ER diagram we made, then ultimately we are going to reduce into table. Extended ER model, relationship of higher degree. So this is all we are going to cover in your ER diagram. So, and we already know that we talked about this table. So before creating a particular table, basically before creating a particular table, what we are going to have? So before creating a particular table, we are going to have that ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. So ER diagram, we are going to see that entity relationship is there, how the one entity is related with the another one. So we are going to look into detail. Fine. And we already know the different books that we are going to follow is your Navathe is one of the good book, and Korth. We are going to follow these two books, and even worldwide it is followed. These two books are really very good book. So let's start with your ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. So this ER diagram, basically before creating a particular table, we are going to have this ER diagram. So it is quite similar to creating a flow chart before writing a particular program in C, Java, COBOL, Pascal, whatever it may be, whatever language you are using. So before creating your or before designing your particular software or particular aspect of that particular, say, factorial of a number, you may write any sort of view. So before doing that, we are making flowchart. So flowchart is your prime requirement for creating a particular program. So here also, before making a table in a database like Oracle or IBM, DB2 is one of the software, or MySQL. So any of the software you are using for that database management system. So before writing or before making the table, you are supposed to make the flow chart of that particular table. Clear? That is how the tables are related. How many different attributes may be there? Attribute here we are going to refer to as your field. How many different fields are going to be referred? Field is nothing but your column of a given table. So this is how we are going to go for. So let's start with your entity relationship model. So this entity relationship model, it is saying it is high level conceptual data model. ER modeling helps to analyze data requirement and semantically to produce well designed database. So before starting with your database, before creating the table, we are supposed to work out for that, isn't it? Quite similar to your flow chart while making a given program. So this is all about your ER diagram. So history, It was created in 1971. So long back it was created. And then this entity relationship diagram. So we are going to see what is entity relationship diagram. If two entities are there, how they are related with each other. So here we are going to talk about entity as your table. Entity is nothing but your table. So what is the relationship between these two table, or that table may be, we are not going to talk about only two tables, there may be n number of different tables, and how they are going to related with each other. So we are going to see all these things in detail. Clear? Like suppose student is there, that is student is going to have some faculty. So faculty is another table. Clear? And another table of a particular database may be staff. So how this staff is related with this faculty, how faculty is related with the student, isn't it? So in this way we are going to see how the entities are related with each other, and entities are nothing but it is your table. Clear? So we are going to see how they are related with each other. So why use ER diagram? So basic, this is required because we just now I dictated why we are in need of ER diagram, because ER diagram, before creating anything you are supposed to work out. Even if you are going to make a building, you are supposed to work out where we are going to put the entire kitchen, where we are going to put the rooms, of what size, and then ultimately we are going to start with your creation of base of that building. So here also, before making a table, we are creating entity relationship model, how the table will look like. So on a piece of paper basically we are working out before practically going for that particular table. So components of ER diagram. So we are going to see what are the different components of ER diagram. So basically three components are there. That is entities. Just now I talked about this table. Entities are nothing but table. Attributes. Attributes, we are going to talk about this attribute, that is all about your, this attribute is there, I think it is visible. Attribute. So attribute is your column name, that is name of the column or field we can say. And last is relationship, how the attributes are related with each other. Clear? Just now I dictated that student table is there, faculty table is there, how this faculty and students are related with each other. So we are going to go in detail. So here they have shown that entity is there, entity, and then attribute name. Clear? So entity is the name of the table and attribute is the column name of that table. So what is entity? Just now we have already completed what is entity. That is name of the table is your entity. That is table is your entity. Example of entities. So some of the example are elaborated over here. That person may be the entity, place may be one of the entity, object may be one of the entity, event may be one of the entity, concept may be one of the entity. Entity is nothing but the table. So these may be the name of the different table: person, place, object, event, concept, so on and so forth. Practically we are going to implement this by using SQL, structured query language. Clear? So very simple example is given over here, entity set. So entity set is nothing but group of similar kind of entity. Set, we already know in mathematics we have studied set. Clear? So group, it is group of similar data. So this is what is called entity set. So here student is there, class is there. So student and class, how they are related with each other, isn't it? So student basically is going to sit in a particular class. That class may be defined M204, M203. Clear? So that class has to be defined for group of students for a particular batch, isn't it? So example of entities. So here we are going to talk about example we are going to take right now, immediately after this. Relationship. Now we are going to see the relationship is there. One, suppose Tom is there working for chemistry department. So we are going to say, we are going to enclose in rhombus box. So one entity, how one entity is going to be related with the another entity. But this is all about your relation. So by using rhombus box, we are going to make a relation. So this is relation. So relation is going to be represented by rhombus box. Clear? That is Tom and chemistry. So this is your relation. Now some examples are there. Now coming back to your weak entity. So weak entity, the name itself depicts that it is weak. It is not strong. So what is the meaning of this weak? So weak is basically, weak is one of the table in which we are not going to define primary key. So I will let you know primary key because we are supposed to study keys also. So primary key is nothing but some sort of your key by which we can take the entire record. Like suppose I am going to say my email ID is one of the key. So by using my email ID, all the data corresponding to my record can be fetched from the database. Clear? So all the entire corresponding record can be fetched by using that key. Suppose email ID is one of the key. We are going to talk about primary key in this case. So by using this primary key, we can fetch any of the data. The entire data can be fetched. Like by using my email ID, anybody can fetch my salary. By using my email ID, anybody can fetch my address, my phone number, my employee this ID. So if I am going to say my email ID is acting as one of the primary key, so that end user can fetch entire data corresponding to that particular table. Entire record of that email ID can be fetched. So that is what is called key. So I think it is very clear. Very simple example is shown over here. So weak entity is very clear. The entity that is stable which don't have primary key. Clear? That is what is called weak. What about strong? Strong entities are nothing but the entities that is stable which is having key, that is primary key. And in a given table, we cannot have more than one primary key. So maximum primary key for a given table is one and only one. Clear? So later on, practically also we are going to implement in our lab also. So this is weak entity, and weak entity is represented by concentric rectangle. So you are able to see this concentric rectangle is there by the name transaction. Clear? Two rectangles are there, one inside the other, that is concentric rectangle is there. So this is called weak entity, and it doesn't have any primary key. This transaction is your one of the table, that is entity, and this table don't have primary key right now. Clear? And if it would have some primary key, we might have represented that attribute by using your underline. So this transaction is acting as your weak entity, and the relationship between these two is also depicted over here as weak relation. By using this rhombus shape, you are able to see this is your weak relation, because ATM is one of the table, transaction is another table. How these two tables are related? It is related with your weakly. It is related. Clear? Why it is weakly related? Because we don't have primary key inside this. Clear? So this is all about that. Now coming back to your transactions and all that, strong entity and weak entity, we just now had a look on this. Strong entities are nothing but which have primary key. Primary key is nothing but unique key. Unique in a particular attribute, in a particular relation, we are going to have only one primary key. Clear? So which is going to identify the record uniquely. Now we are able to see that train number is there. I think you are able to see this. Train number is there, and train number underline is there. Inside this particular attribute train number, you are able to see transaction is name of the table, and the name of the columns are defined in oval shape, that is train number, amount, type, है ना. So these are called attribute or field or column, है ना. We may say any of these three, attribute, field or column of that table. So underline shows that it is one of the primary key. Clear? The primary key may be your email ID, it may be your like phone number, it may be your like anything which is uniquely it is going to identify the record. Your that employee ID for that employee, it may be your Aadhaar card, it may be your PAN card, it may be your license, which are unique, because one guy is related with that one number, one Aadhaar card number, one license number. Clear? So on and so forth. So I think weak and strong is very clear, weak entity and strong entity. Coming back to your types of attribute. Now, what are the different types of attribute we are going to see? So types of attribute, simple attribute is there, composite attribute is there, clear? Derived attribute is there, multi-valued attribute is there, clear? So we are going to see what are the different types of attribute. Simple attribute is nothing but simple. We are going to say name is there, and a student name is there as one of the column of that particular table. His suppose phone number may be there, his address may be there. So these are very simple attribute, है ना. Right now we are not going to take address, because address basically we are going to study in composite attribute. So these are simple. Name of that particular employee, suppose his any sort of your relation, his salary may be one of the attributes, simple attributes, so on and so forth. Coming to your composite attribute. So the name itself depicts composite, and it is not only one, rather it is having more than one different part for that particular attribute. Say as for example address, clear? So address is having lot many different, it can further be divided into lot many different attributes, like address may have house number, it can be separate attribute, separate column, clear? Address may have your state, address may have your city, address may have your suppose street number, so address may have your pin code. So all this attribute can further be divided into different attribute. So that is what is called composite, mixture of different attribute, clear? That is composite attribute. Like name is there, so name is there, suppose first name, middle name, last name, and a name can further be divided into three different parts. So that is called your composite attribute, mixture that can be further divided, clear? Coming to your derived attribute. So here derived attribute is nothing but by that particular attribute basically we are able to derive something. Say as for example, a particular column is going to have the date of joining of that particular employee, clear? Date of joining of that particular employee. So by using that date of joining, we can find the experience of that particular employee in that organization. How we can do that? That is date of joining minus system date. Are you getting? Date of joining minus system date is going to show the experience of that particular employee in that organization. So that is what is called derived attribute, clear? We are not going to write experience as one of the attribute. Why? Because experience can be achieved by using your derived attribute, that is date of joining. By using date of joining, which is already the part of that particular entity, we can find the experience of that particular employee, clear? Or say as for example, you are having one of the attribute by the name date of birth. So by using date of birth, we can find the age of that particular employee, isn't it? That is date of birth minus system date, whatever may be the current date. So date of birth minus current date is going to be your the exact age of that particular employee. So age is one of the derived attribute, which can be derived by using the attribute which is already present in the base table, given table. Multi-valued attribute, coming back to your multi-valued attribute. So the name itself shows that multi-valued, lot many values are there for a particular attribute. So you made one column by the name phone number. So a given user may have many phone numbers, clear? So a single student or a single employee may have two phone number, may have three phone number, isn't it? May have four SIMs, four phone numbers, so on and so forth. So that is what is called your multi-valued attribute. Many values are there. Coming to cardinality. So cardinality is nothing but how the one particular relation is related with the another relation is all about your cardinality. Like one to one, one to many, many to one, है ना, many to many. So these are coming under your cardinality. Like suppose student is there and faculty is there, two tables are there, student and faculty, clear? Or a student is there, course is there, clear? So student is going to enroll in one course, but lot many students are there. So lot many students are there, they are going to enroll in different courses. So one student is going to enroll in one course. That is one to one relation is there. Clear? So say for example, a student is there and faculty is there. So one faculty can teach many student. Clear? So faculty is to student, we are going to say, so one faculty, one is to many relation is going to exist in that case. So we are going to see lot many different cardinality. Clear? I think it is very clear. One to one relation. Exactly, one student is going to enroll for one course like BTech, MTech, PhD. It is not that he has enrolled for MTech as well as he has enrolled for PhD. Clear? So one student at a time is going to enroll in one course. One to one relation. I think it is very clear. One to many. Clear? One to many. One classroom is there and many students are sitting in that classroom. Clear? So one to many. Many to one, the reverse of this one. Just the reverse of this one. Earlier class and student was there. Now student and class, reverse of that. Many to many, that many students are there, many faculties are there. Clear? So many students are studying by many of the faculty. Many to many, relation is there. I think it is clear. Many students are there and many faculties are teaching in that. Clear? So 5 subjects are going on, 5 faculties are teaching for same group of students. So this is many to many relation. Coming to ER notation. So here ER notation, we are going to see rectangle, ellipse, diamond, diamond. Clear? That is used for relationship, lines to connect this, primary key attribute, double ellipse. So these are the important boxes that we are going to use in your ER diagram. It is quite similar to your flow chart that we are using in your C programming. Suppose before writing C programming, you are going to go for flow chart. So this some symbols are being used. So here also in ER diagram, we are using some symbols. So for this rectangular box is there. So we are going to say strong entity. Concentric rectangle is there. That is one rectangle within the other one. So we are going to say it is weak entity. Oval shape is there, we are going to say it is attribute. Attribute are nothing but these are your column or field, isn't it? Multi-valued attribute, that is double oval shape is there, concentric oval shape is there. Weak entity is nothing but your this concentric diamond shape is there. Rhombus shape, clear? Relationship is there. If it is not weak, that is strong. By default it is strong. So in that case, only one rhombus box is sufficient for this. Clear? So these are the part. So I think you understood the concept of this ER diagram. So we are going to take some numerical, we are going to take some practical example of this ER diagram in couple of this lecture. So thank you very much. Have a nice